All right, everybody, welcome to Dirty 20 Productions' first Dirty Talk. This is going to be a audio-only podcast. Hopefully, we hope for it to kind of evolve to a point where it will be us discussing the things that go on in our streamed campaign, yet to be named. However, currently, for now, it's just going to be kind of getting to know us and kind of knowing the cast of Dirty 20 Productions. So we're going to start with introductions, going around the room. I know you didn't see what we just did there, but we're going to start with...
Hi, I am known as Bouchard, so if you hear people call me by that, just know that that is the name that falls upon ownership of this voice. I know you're all probably wondering, and I must confirm, yes, I was born without a first name, so I just don't have one, and my friends have taken me in, and they don't judge me. I'm going to be the DM of the stream, hitherto unnamed because I'm bad at naming things, and yeah, I'm just trying to, we're trying to get a like a session 0 for Dirty Talk, kind of introduce ourselves and what we're all about, like the type of people that we are, so that we can better inform you of what kind of campaign it's going to be and who you're dealing with, instead of you just hearing random voices doing weird roleplay over the internet. So yeah, I'm sure we'll get into more details after we kind of assign names to voices and roles and stuff like that. So on to the next schmuck who decided to do this.
Hi, I'm Coop, or Cooper, or Koopa Loop. You heard me during the introduction here.
He's tall.
I am also known as Tall. My first name was a gift. It was given to me on my birthday. It is mine and mine alone.
Oh my god.
You may not have purchase or access to it. However, I will be playing Kyron, the Wild West Tiefling Gunslinger, in our hitherto unnamed campaign.
That's just going to be its name.
Yeah, hitherto
Welcome
unnamed.
to hitherto unnamed.
I'm super excited to be here fucking around with my friends and playing D&D. It's something that we all love, and I know I'm more than excited to be able to share that with anybody listening to this currently. We will move on to...
Oh, wow, this time I didn't accidentally reveal my first name.
I feel like I should say now that this is actually take 2 because I fucked up, so...
Is it still going?
Yeah, no, we're still recording, we're good.
Right.
I'm just gonna stare at this panel until we're done. All right, go!
All right, so my name is Nagy. That's about all you need to know about me. But for my character, his name is Hondelhan. Also tragically born without a first name. Maybe just tragically born. It depends on how you look at things. Yeah, I mean, he's an Arcana cleric, the kind you'd never see, because why wouldn't you just play a wizard? Yeah, I mean, that's me.
Our friend here, Nagy, neglected to mention that
a lot.
He is the dad joke general of the group. You will facepalm, you will cry, either tears of joy or sorrow, but that is Nagy.
The inventor and creator of General Goods.
That's not true. That was me.
That was yours? Okay.
General Goods, and Tan My Hide. Those are mine, and you would leave them out of his dirty fucking purview.
He did bring us together, though.
That's fair.
Moving past his dirty purview is...
Who are you calling a dirty purview?
There it is.
Bibliophile.
Read me like your French girls.
Did you say read or
I
something
said
else?
read.
Okay.
You said
What else did he
bibliophile.
Wait, no. What did you think he said?
Let's not go there.
He probably thought breed. He probably was thinking
Whoa,
breed.
Cooper.
Oh, it's my thing now.
Don't put
Okay.
words in my mouth.
Listen, man, if we wanted that vulgarity on this podcast, we would have called it something stupid, like Dirty Talk.
Fuck, shit, bitch, fuck, shit, bitch.
Also a good time to mention this is maybe not a PG podcast.
Yeah, hide your kids. Just your kids. Your wife is fine. We're not monsters.
I actually invite her to come.
Nothing quite like a sign that says "Don't feed the alligators" after someone has just fed the alligators.
All right. Let's let our friend here introduce himself.
So hi, I'm Fulton, also known as Black. I'm also black.
That's an important detail, actually.
Well, it's my personality. It is who I am.
It's not the skin color, it's not the skin color, it's just the actual color. Fulton is an amorphous black void that is sitting on this couch with us right
No
now.
light escapes our friend Fulton.
I love the
He
dark.
is an eldritch, biblically accurate angel.
We're all
Thank
bleeding
you.
from our ears
You're
right
welcome.
now.
Yeah, I like that.
So tell us about yourself, Fulton.
So I'll be playing a character that we'll all find out about in the stream, including myself. I really just like role-playing and talking dirty with my friends.
For those of you who don't know, our
Should
friend...
be none of you.
Which would be none of you, unless, I don't know, some people we know are probably going to be the first people to watch this.
God, I hope not.
Yeah, I hope not too. Fulton, like all of us, except Kate over there,
Oh my God, you outed me before it was my turn.
yes, you do not get to hide. This may be a second take, but that doesn't mean you get to fix your mistakes.
Shit.
Fulton here also does not have a first name because it was stolen from him by someone who I will not mention on this podcast.
Name redacted.
Why did you say the name?
It's redacted.
Yeah, but we don't know. We don't know if the recording equipment is going to pick up on that or not. I don't know if Wise has programmed
Oh
that.
shit.
So don't take
Did
any
you
risks,
not
man.
soundboard the stuff to blank out name redacted? His name?
Oh my God, why do you keep saying it?
I have faith in you at
The
this
FBI
point.
is breaking in here literally in any moment.
You can change my voice, right?
Yeah, Fulton is, none of us are sure what kind of character Fulton is going to play.
Fulton's not even sure what kind of character
Well, we
Fulton's
can't
gonna
talk
play.
about it because if we bring it up and he tells us, he's just going to change it again.
It's like a monster of the week, but it's like character of the session.
See, to my knowledge, he was going to play a changeling, which we thought was perfect for Fulton.
Oh,
'cause he
we
could just...
changed that.
Yeah, but you changed it.
How ironic. In the wise words of Palpatine, how ironic.
I think it just says ironic.
Does he just say ironic?
I thought that was something Wise said, but then you said
Moving on, actually, now that you've outed her multiple times.
I've been outed so many times already.
She is our resident gamer grill.
Yep, my name is Georgia Foreman, and I'm the gamer grill. No, my name is Kate or Wise. You'll hear them call me that because I'm a very smart person. And
She
for
got
no-
degrees.
Why would we call you Kate? Because you're smart.
I am your resident techie fucking gamer grill stage crew of the gang, and I'll be playing a half elf fighter because I'm not creative. Her name is Kay Gwyn, or just Gwen. I mean that's all I got. That's all that's really important about me.
She's our stage crew because she's the only person who owns a functioning PC.
That's actually true.
We're broke. To give a little bit of context as to why we're all broke, we all work together. In case you were worried about us breaking, normal COVID standards, we do all work together in the same spaces.
But we can't talk about it because,
We do work at definitely not Amazon. For sure not Amazon. Don't you dare look into it. I will find you. Anyway,
The location of our actual workplace is hidden away with Cooper's name, so.
They're in the same place as all of the files taken by name redacted. However, to move forward, we all work at not Amazon. I'm in the administrative departments. They work in logistics. So we do all work together. We've known each other for a little while now. But I think it'd be really fun for everyone here to move forward to just introduce, how long you've been playing D&D, some of your favorite player characters, some of your favorite NPCs, good moments that really sunk you into the game and sold you on it, or just, really brought out a really good memory that you'll probably keep forever.
And I'll just preface this point with probably everything we bring up is going to be from our home games, so you're going to hear names that make no sense and or are stupid.
And we'll explain as we go. If we refer to our Mass Effect campaign, that is Starlight Squad. We'll probably be calling it Starlight Squad for most of the time. We have a completely homebrewed two completely homebrewed D&D 5e campaigns that are set in medieval times. One is Bloody Band, the other is Chaos Crew. You know, we have a Star Wars campaign called Rogue Order, and we have a couple other onesie-twosie recurring campaigns that we are part of. There is a Tales from the Loop game we call Kid Shot, as it only comes up every once in a while, and we get to play kids.
Not that it involved kids getting shot.
It does not involve children being shot.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah. Don't make me break.
Let's just say we play a lot of D&D.
We do also, lastly, have a campaign in the D&D 5e rulebook set in the Dragon Age universe. Morally Grey campaign is what
Is
we're
it a
currently
campaign
calling
or is
it.
it one of the shots?
I don't want to think about it.
It's a campaign. Kate just doesn't like fucking DMing.
You know, they
but
say that a campaign that only happens once is a once shot, and then a campaign that happens multiple times is a
campaign.
yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
Well, you know, I heard this joke and I kind of fucked it away, but the punchline really doesn't make sense if you
If it gets stolen from you.
yeah, because you know, a one-time session is a one shot, and a campaign that goes on for multiple sessions is a cum shot.
I hate you.
Oh.
I hate you. Really,
Let's do this go around the room thing.
Yeah,
Let's
so
start.
now that you have some background story, we're going to start with the wise woman
See, I
off
forced
over by the
progress.
equipment,
I see.
drinking her monster.
I'm a sleepy bitch.
No, we're gonna get sued by Monster now.
Drinking drink redacted.
A monster, please sponsor us. Oh my god, please.
It's monster as in ending with like an AH.
Yeah, it's actually Munster, the cheese. I'm
He
drinking.
melted it and drank it.
This bitch is just drinking pureed booberry.
That's awful.
It's a big flex.
You want to start with me this time?
yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
Hi, I'm Wise, adjective, and my name. I've been playing D&D since I was like 11, and as I am the oldest person of the group, that means I've been playing D&D for about 150 years.
It's a crazy time. She made it before Gary Gygax did.
No, it's let's see, I've been playing for what, since I was 11, so coming up on 18 years this year, so a really long time. Favorite characters that I've had, I mean, it's kind of hard to narrow it down to just like one favorite. If I had to pick, I'd probably pick my Starlight Squad character, Rin, because she's a disaster and she's basically just me cranked up to 11. I don't know if I really can pick like one solid favorite moment in D&D. I mean, we've
Maybe
had a
not
lot
a favorite, but something that just kind of like stands out
I
in
mean,
your
one
heart.
that definitely always stands out when I think about like good D&D and good DMing.
The onion scene.
Good. It's the onion scene, yes, where I ate an onion like an apple to impress a girl. Probably, I don't know, I always come back to the funeral from Starlight Squad.
Yeah.
Which one? The first one?
The first one, where, it's a Mass Effect universe, so all of our characters are kind of, if you know anything about the Mass Effect universe, are part of an alliance crew. And what was it, like the third session in?
It was the third. It was the third.
The third session in, the CO of our ship passed away, and we had to attend a funeral. And Jesus fucking Christ, when I tell you that Bouchard like tore us all up. I mean, like, we were all, every single person involved in the campaign was like bawling big baby tears. Like, it just always stands out as just like a excellent moment in D&D where not only was like the setting perfect, and that's obviously attributing to the DM's skill to kind of set the scene for us, but everybody leading up to that moment, everybody's role play was on point, everybody was really encapsulating their characters, and there was this really like emotionally charged scene for totally fictional people that kind of like bled over. And I mean, we were all an absolute mess.
It was also really well done because we had spent 3 sessions kind of Bouchard had really hammered home that this man was the anchor of the crew, right? And it really felt like somebody who, if I were in the military, God forbid, I would love to follow, and I would love to work for. So like having that kind of idea put in my head, and then having him built very quickly to be somebody you really trust and love, and then having him ripped away,
Yeah. And it's like, I don't want to negate it because it sounds like, oh, it was only the third session, but like, also keeping in mind that our first couple Mass Effect or Starlight Squad sessions were like 12-hour sessions. Like they were fucking bangers of sessions. So we had all this time to kind of be ingratiated into this crew and develop the relationship with all these people, including the captain. And then what happened, and it was just a good, like every session we really play, it was just a good session. I mean, favorite NPCs? God, I don't know. Nagatha Christie. Let's be honest. Like Nagatha Christie is just like a extra planar being who shows up somehow in every campaign and is just top-notch entertainment every time.
Just wait until you get into that deep backstory. You'd think I'm joking, but like, you know, he had to have gone through some shit.
Will we see him in Starlight Squad?
Maybe.
You literally did.
What? No,
Vice
that was a
Admiral
different.
Christie.
Oh my God! I did not put two and two together.
It was just a weird coincidence that I happened to play him.
I thought it was just another character you had, just like Nagatha Christie, but in this world.
No.
But that was Nagatha
His
Christie.
name is literally Vice Admiral Christie. Vice
Wow.
Admiral Aaron Christie.
That like went
I just
way
had to get a
over my-
normal name for that that section of my
Nagatha
life.
was too much, right? So
His middle name.
So what about you, Fulton? How long you been playing D&D?
Not that long. I'm kind of new to it. I've been playing for at least a year, probably 2 years, right?
probably, I think like 2, right?
Once I roped you into my game,
Yeah.
it was over.
I remember my first time with Nagy.
Uh,
With Nagy as the dungeon master.
so you guys see
I
what
didn't
happened
think
to
you
that?
guys had that kind of a relationship.
Neither did I.
Oh, it's special to me.
Oh.
I'm really happy for you guys.
I love this for y'all.
You know, I'm always gonna remember it.
What?
What about it? What about you gonna remember?
So my first character, Thok.
Commander Thok.
Yes, Commander
First
Thok.
name Commander.
Whoa, okay. Put some respect on his name. buddy.
On his first name, not his rank, but his first name.
Yeah, he has no rank.
He was only a knight.
Yeah.
Literally having a rank.
Yeah, I liked playing Thok. It was difficult playing like that good character in a campaign full of chaotic people. So like,
I will say though, he was modeled after Batman.
which was horrible. I don't know why I did it, but
It was an odd character choice.
everyone loves Batman though.
I
Like,
think people tolerate Batman.
they tolerate.
We are now speaking about Fulton's first character in Chaos Crew. The name really should just say it all. There's a nation called Wakanda. The place is called Azeroth. I don't think I need to go any further than that to kind of hammer home how wild it is.
The look that Nagy is giving you right now.
Yeah, I know. There's a character from this game, and let me just shit on this world real quick.
Nagy put a
This
lot of work
place is
in
called Bridgeport. Oh, give me that shit, right?
Not shitting on the campaign. It is fucking pure, unadulterated fun. But it is it's crazy. It's chaotic, right? And Thok kind of did fit just right in.
What, really?
He was like like when you're rivals in a party, and then it's like, oh, you know, we don't get along, but we get along enough. Yeah. Enough to like murder people.
He was the Lancer of the crew.
Yeah, exactly.
So is your favorite character Thok?
Well, see, it's tough to decide. I like playing Thok just because I got to train Timmy, and
That
it's
was
like,
that was a good caveat.
yeah, that was like my biggest. I'm not gonna say my greatest achievement because who knows how that turned out.
So what would you say your favorite moment in D&D in general? If there's like a specific scene or a specific moment that you can think of that was like really awesome for you.
I think of like moments from every campaign, but most recently it has to be with Senator Kale seducing Siva and not dying yet. Like,
And not dying yet. She will one day decide that it is time to tear apart her romance partner.
not before they have babies.
Not before they have a bunch of six-legged puppy children.
Jesus.
For your note, that's Star Wars. He's talking about, he plays Senator Kale, who is pure mad lattery. Just, the only way to describe that character is pure mad lattery.
He's a great guy.
It's the only way. All the other characters are looking at it like that Jeff Goldblum meme. It's like, you crazy son of a bitch, you did it.
What about you, Nagy?
And don't worry, Cooper, you aren't shitting my game. It's already shit, so.
It's not shit. I love Chaos Crew.
So do I. That's why I say that.
Chaos Crew is pure fun.
And just for everyone else's reference, at the time of naming, people hadn't really watched all the Critical Role stuff. Everyone's like, oh, that's Critical Role's thing. People, chaotic crew. It was something that was thrown around, and then they just loved it, and it was like, oh, that'll fit. Yeah, what were the questions?
So
This is my first time.
So what's your how long have you been playing D&D?
Oh, yeah.
What are some of your favorite player characters, NPCs,
Gotcha.
moments?
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. I think it's coming up on about 5 years now. I would say probably my favorite player character. That would have to be. Let me think. Yeah, I'd have to say it's either a cross between Amir the Gunslinger and probably Vinny Sanatori. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, one of my favorite player characters was a Tabaxi rogue who wanted to be a doctor named the Fixer, who just a mess of a character, but he's probably one of the most creative ideas because he took expertise in medicine and failed out of medical school, just had like shitty medical supplies. He was fixing like mob guys and stuff like that. Just wanted to be a normal doctor, just a normal dude. He was normal for what he deemed normal.
It's normal by his own standards, okay?
Yeah. So very not normal. Let's see. Favorite NPC that I've done is probably Bolsh from the Humdrum Bum,
Good old Bolsh.
who is like one of my player characters, Anchor. And also Nagatha Christie, because it's just, I didn't even make up the character. Two player characters, or not player characters, but like two players in my game basically made a character sheet about me and was like, hey, look at this is so funny. And I'm like, great material, guys. I don't even have to do this myself. And I made him into a character and then, proceeded to hound and, bother the main cast until they accepted him. Yeah, I mean, that's what probably I'd have to say about that. But, I enjoyed pretty much all the characters I've played. I do just put the minimum amount of thought into, making them. So I do generally end up liking them. Yeah, I mean, that's about it.
Coop?
All right. I've been playing D&D also since I was like 10 or 11. So I'm coming up on like 11, maybe 12 years of having played make-believe with my friends. Some of my favorite characters, I have to say, like, obviously before I started working with this group, I played a lot of D&D, but like thinking back on all those characters, like none of them really compare to what I've been able to do while here. For sure, probably my favorite so far, because I've had the most time to really like play around with the concept and like, really struggle with the character, is probably Vulcan, my Starlight Squad character in our Mass Effect campaign. Just too smart for his own good, a pacifist stuck in the galaxy that really wants to kill him. So, favorite NPC, man, I gotta say, Tess is a lot of fun to play.
Yeah, Tess is dope.
Tess is my herbo fighter.
Oh my god, you know how I feel about the term herbo.
Yeah, she eats a lot of herbs, guys.
It's just you could just say himbo. Like, it's okay. Let me, as your representative of the lesbian community, let you know.
Did Rise just come out on this?
Well, you all outed me like 9 different ways already, so I figured it was just my time.
Wait a minute. Wouldn't that make you gay?
No, I'm not
Oh,
gay.
okay.
I'm a lesbian.
Oh.
Oh, got you.
Right,
She's
right, right.
upset, not happy.
Oh.
Wait, so, okay, hold on. I'm gonna pause this for a second. Right, but does that mean, so if gay is happy, lesbian is sad? That's the opposite, the other side of the spectrum?
But that also infers that lesbian is the polar opposite of gay.
No, but she said she wasn't
That
gay.
means lesbians are straight, and oh my god, we figured some groundbreaking stuff, guys.
Gay is gay.
And the 7 has graced us with his presence.
Anyways, please, himbo, please,
Yeah,
for me, please.
The female himbo,
Fine.
who was at one point one of Fulton's character's squire, as she was traveling with him. He met a unheroic end, and the party decided to keep her around. So I've been somehow struggling to put a non-impressive DM NPC in. Hopefully I haven't fucking
And
made
she's-
her too forward.
She's still like super fucking powerful. You're like, oh, I gotta make sure she's.
She never fights.
See, now that's the juxtaposition between how Cooper does a squire and how Nagy does a squire.
Oh,
Because
God.
my squire was more like Morty
He
from
was
Rick and Morty.
literally Morty.
But Tess is a lot of fun to play. She's just really big and strong and super sweet and dumb, and you know, she's just a lot of fun to do, man. And I think if I had to pick a moment in D&D that's been like really memorable recently, because God, there's so many funny moments and whatnot. But I think I'm gonna boil it down to like one of the moments recently that I felt like we were in a show, which, going back like 8 months to the beginning of Mass Effect, was that opening sequence.
Oh,
I would have to
man,
say
so
our
good.
introductions were just, what a fucking show. And then the introduction of Brooke into Mass Effect when that sniper took her shots. And, you know, everybody in character reacted immediately because there was no real turn order, exactly how those characters would react. And it was a lot of fun because it showed kind of all of us go instinctual with our characters, and it was super cool. You know, I think that's all I got to say about that. On to our DM, who surely has the most time as playing D&D.
Yes, I've been playing for 14,000 years. I inspire. Some people say that I am the eldritch being that inspired Gary Gygax to make D&D in the first place.
Little known
We're so
fact,
honored to have you in our presence.
Gary Gygax is a warlock.
And I am his patron.
He is a Pact of the Tome warlock.
But in this current flesh and blood mortal form, I've been playing D&D for about 9 months. So I don't really have a lot of experience. But I do DM a campaign, one campaign. I DM the Mass Effect campaign.
He will also be DMing the stream.
I will be DMing the stream as well. Yeah, I haven't really had that much experience with DMing. I haven't really had a lot of characters that I've played. At least that I play like regularly enough to like get a good like a grasp on them. I've had a couple of one-shot characters and some things, and I've played Yeet in a character swap dream sequence before.
We all make mistakes.
I would have to say it is a tie between honestly, Nagy, it's a tie between Luten and Alice.
Which is really cool because you've only played one session of Lieutenant
I've
for
only
about
played
15
one
minutes.
session of Lieutenant, and I spoke all of 4 times. But I really like the idea of that character
It's a good idea.
so much.
Yeah.
But Alice is great. She's who I've spent the most time with playing Alice for my entire like 8-9 months that I've been playing D&D. Again, favorite NPC has got to be Gernsback from Mass Effect. Their guys is it's EXO, right?
Yep.
Second to the captain.
She's
The
our, executive
So,
officer.
Yeah.
Come on, man, you're the
so-
fucking DM.
But I don't know. Fuck
He doesn't
you.
know Navy stuff.
We just call her ma'am.
Yeah, everybody just calls her
Navy.
ma'am.
Call her Sam.
Yeah, don't do that. But like she has such a powerful presence because she has like this leadership role in the ship, and like I know that she's not going on missions with them. She has the ability. She's like a level 15 NPC. So, because she's like basically like the Navy SEALs of the Mass Effect world, and like she's been around for forever, and she has so much more experience than any of the player characters. She has a presence to her that is very hard for me to replicate.
He does make it seem like she's Mary Sued when explaining her, but she's really not.
No, she has her own backstory and trials and tribulations that she's gone through.
And her presence on the ship is not that of a flawless person.
No, and even when she takes control, it's not like, okay, the players have fucked some shit up and now they're about to be blown up by pirates.
No, usually it's I fucked some shit up.
Yeah, it's not like Rin fucked some shit up and then Gernsback comes in and saves the day. Normally, Gernsback is like, hey, you have something more important to do. I'm going to take control of the ship. You do your thing, I'll do my thing. And then if you make mistakes down there, I'll yell at you for that later. But them, Gernsback, and now that I kind of think about it, literally every single dream sequence I've ever had with anybody.
Man.
Those are my favorite group of NPCs. Because they're all so varied and they're all so different, and they are the most colorful characters in the campaign. And I think those got to be my favorite NPCs.
To kind of like compound on that a little bit, just so that sentence makes sense. And I'm sure we'll get into it in more detail as we kind of sit here and bullshit as we do pretty much constantly. But basically, in our Starlight Squad, our Mass Effect campaign, pretty much, I would say almost every
single time you go to sleep on the ship because you're in a relaxed environment.
Mm-hmm. He'll have us roll basically an odd or even luck style roll, and if you hit it, then you have a dream, and we each individually have our own. Everyone else gets sent out of the room, little dream sequence with our own, like you said, colorful cast of characters that are unique to us.
And what's really cool about their place kind of in the Mass Effect world for our campaign is a lot of Mass Effect, like a lot of the characters are very grounded. They're very real, right? And so we get that awesome roleplay experience of like every conversation feels natural. But when we dream and we get introduced to these characters whose station rises so far above the galaxy that it doesn't really matter if they're zany and kind of unpredictable or believable, we get this really cool kind of dynamic with our characters where we get to invert most of our normal interactions with people, and it really just brings out the best in our characters. And it's funny too, because none of us will ever see.
Yeah, each other's.
Only one of us will know at all times.
Yep.
Only ever seen one of y'all's dreams once.
Yeah.
Well, we did two, didn't we? We went into yours.
Me and Seven shared a dream, and then you and Vinny shared a dream.
But we all shared one of Vulcan's.
And we all shared one.
And we all
dream.
shared one of yours when we were in the bar trying to get the door to work.
I will say that Aaron has seen other people's dreams, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So Aaron joined our campaign a little bit late. He was a late bloomer, I guess you could say.
He had where did they open up the fucking new warehouse? For not Amazon.
Okay.
In Greenland.
In Greenland?
Or is it Iceland?
Was it? Which one was it?
The not shitty one.
How do you not know where they sent you?
It doesn't matter.
Whatever.
Wherever he
It's all
went,
repressed.
Open up
It's
a warehouse for not Amazon. Definitely not Amazon.
To be fair.
For Beth Jezos.
Beth Jezos, yes.
Absolutely being clowns. He missed the inception of Starlight Squad, and it was rather unfortunate, but now he's back. We have him in there.
Because of my ingenuity, by which I mean I recorded everything on my phone like an absolute dumbass. Before we had this fancy recording equipment, we would send him the recordings and he would listen to them and
Which
usually reach out and be like, what the fuck?
was actually the inception of why we wanted to do the podcast
Yeah.
and the stream,
so really, all this is my fault. Sorry, guys.
But with the dreams more specifically, it's funny because my end game BBEG shit, the big story arcs, I'm like, that's a cool idea. That's gonna be a story arc. And then I'm like, I'll get to that when I get to it. Whereas the dreams, I was like, oh yeah, what if when they went to sleep, like they rolled a luck roll, and like they had like their own little dreamscape to explore that was like just about their character, so that they themselves, because like I said, I've tried to watch Critical Role. I can't really watch D&D.
Hypocrite.
I can play it. I don't know. I feel like I'll watch it, and then I'll be like, all right, cool, and I'll watch it in 30-minute increments, or I'll try and watch it while I do something, and then I'm rewinding every 10 minutes because I forget what they're doing and where they are. But anyway, I thought it would be really cool because I've never heard of it being done in D&D before, where not only do you have role play with NPCs, with players, and with characters, but you have role play with your own character's subconscious in this dream space. I was like, that's a cool little flavor thing.
In other words, we're all warlocks.
Yes.
We're all warlocks.
Yes.
Oops, all trauma.
Oops, all trauma.
You all have, like, I was like, they'll all have their own little thing. It'll be a little flavor thing. Smash cuts to, what are we, 8-9 months in to Mass Effect now? And if I knew, oh boy, if I knew how to use Excel, there would be spreadsheets. It is probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do DMing, which is not a lot because I've only been DMing for like
Use
8 months.
spreadsheets?
Huh? No, the
hardest part is spreading them.
Oh, not the sheeting part.
All right, Wise, I'm gonna unhook my microphone.
Honestly, I might go with you at this point.
Ladies and gentlemen, we
the
got it.
inception of the dreams in general. So, like, for example, when his character has his dreams, there are sets of doors, and they normally ask him questions. And depending on how the character answers the questions, decides which door he goes through. So I have like a list of what doors are going to pop up when, what the questions are going to be, how the doors are going to react based on how they answer, what he could see when he goes through the doors, because multiple can open sometimes, and which one he picks. So it's very hard to account for the player's randomness in something that is like within the system that I've built, that I can't just like pretend and write my way around it. Like in a combat encounter, y'all murked that first guard in your priority 1 mission.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, next guard, that might be a little harder. Whereas in the dreams, I kind of can't do that, because it's like, to get into a dream and have me just say, oh, go fuck yourself, is not what I want to have happen.
Well, and it's not to say that it's predetermined, but it's definitely something that you want our characters to get something out of.
Yes.
And being that you want us to get a specific thing out of each dream, it's kind of hard to ad-lib that. Yeah. Obviously, there will be ad-lib because that's just D&D, but it can't just be like off the cuff. Like you said with Vulcan or with Cooper's character, you kind of maybe don't have a spreadsheet because, as we've learned, you can't fucking use Excel because you're a fucking child, apparently.
Yeah. Do you know how to use Excel, Wise?
Do I, the
Yes.
Eldrick being the oldest person in this group, know how to use Excel? Yes.
Don't incite the ancient incantations to me, witch. I was there when they were written.
But like how you said, you have to have some sort of system to keep track of what each door
there
and
when it
each
was
thing
typed.
and all means, you know. You can't really ad-lib that kind of stuff. So I mean that makes sense. You know, that would be difficult as someone who occasionally DMs, chooses not to because I don't genuinely enjoy doing it. But as someone who DMs, I can see that being like, fuck, that would be complicated. Like and not only, you're not just doing it for Vulcan, like you have 3 other players and all their shit is unique to them. So it's not like you can use the rubric you use for Vulcan or Cooper's character and apply it to Rin and Vinny and Seven, which would be the rest of our characters. You have to come up with completely different rubrics for each one.
That would be an interesting thought, though, that for one dream sequence, everyone goes, but everyone has, like, the person to the right of them's dream.
Ooh, yeah.
And just see what happens.
I would just break a bunch of doors down. I don't have time for this!
You will try. But yeah, that's who we are. Just a bunch of fucking nerds who like playing D&D. We like other things.
Bouchard likes to make people cry. I realize that that's your
get
thing.
enjoyment out of it.
Oh, you do.
You are a fucking dirty fucking liar. That is the most lion-ass dago shit I've ever heard you fucking say. That is some bullshit that you just fucking said. Think about the times that you have made us cry in Mass Effect. How many times, Bouchard?
Bouchard will.
He lost count. That's
He
what
lost count. He doesn't even know how many times.
It's just
You know,
3. And they were
Bouchard
all at
will-
appropriate moments.
Bouchard will pick at the scab per se. He is so because we're all really close friends. He knows
I don't even
exactly.
like you people.
He knows exactly what to do at.
I mean, we can sit here and talk shit about it all we want, but that's kind of what makes the game so compelling.
Yeah, no, it's
Is having a DM who can pick those moments that not only are going to get to you as a person, but are going to move your character kind of down the path
of
they're
course.
supposed to be on.
And after every time,
But still, fuck you, is
No,
what I'm saying.
when Wise and I will talk after session or during a break,
For
we'll be like,
hours.
you know, fucking literally wiping each other's tears, like, but we'll also kind of like, man, that is really the cornerstone to what makes that game so good, is that it does hit home. And I don't know, man, playing that game, sometimes as my character evolves, I feel like myself as a person is growing, just because my genuine like problems and like PTSD and shit gets picked at, you know. And
This is the cheapest therapy I've ever gone to. That's all I'm
Yeah.
going to say.
Well, you can go to your old therapist.
No, you're right, because name redacted ruined it for me.
I slept with her.
Okay, we don't need to tell the. What
We're
if
gonna have to edit that.
oh my god, what if she listens to this?
Yeah, we have to edit that out.
Well,
doesn't know who name redacted is.
Fuck you, I'm leaving it in.
isn't that the point of name redacted?
You know how much money we spend on energy drinks, DoorDash, and like,
Cigarettes.
yeah.
So for all of you guys' context, take a second and think if you play D&D or if you just stumbled upon us, in which case, welcome. I'm surprised you're still here 45 minutes in.
I love
But
you.
for those of you who play D&D,
I have
Marry
commitment
you.
issues though.
Have my kids, please.
take a second and think to yourselves, what's the longest amount of time you've ever played in a session?
Like one session.
Yeah, like what's your standard time?
What did we hit one time? 15, 16 hours? Like almost a whole day.
I mean, we've done that multiple times.
And as they take a second to themselves, Cooper,
Oh yeah, you know.
we consistently, so our schedules are a little crazy with work sometimes.
It is shift work.
It is shift work. So, however, we very much use the time that we have available to us to play and catch up on games. So there have been weeks where we luck out and all of our shifts line up, and we play for no less than 7 hours a day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then we take a break on Saturday, and then we play on Sunday. Like, we play all of the time. Not to mention double sessions, 15-hour sessions, all-nighters getting breakfast in the morning. Like, we play a lot of D&D, which is why Mass Effect has only, like, at least because my experience is only with Mass Effect. Mass Effect being the shortest of the currently ongoing campaigns, or the newest rather, it feels like it's been forever since we started. But it's only been 9 months, which is a decent amount of time. But to have finished recently the first season of Mass Effect and have you guys be where you are, be where you are as characters.
Gross.
To have you guys be where you are as characters, I think is a symptom of that, is that we play constantly. And especially when you don't have bleed over, especially because we're very fortunate. We're very fortunate that we all have similar work schedules and we all exist in the same bubble, so we don't have to worry about COVID. Like, that a lot of people who usually play D&D with one another, that is a casualty of this pandemic as well, is that people aren't able to get together and play the thing that they love and, like, be those characters and tell those stories and have those moments, which, at least for me, is one of the reasons why I agreed to do this in the first place.
And like, I do hate this term, but like, really we are kind of all pretty blessed. Most of us are split into two different groups that live with each other. We all work with each other. Like, it gives us access to keep our hobby during a time where a lot of people haven't been able to. And one of my favorite things about D&D, right, is that at the end of it all, you have this amazing story. I heard this in an interview, by the way. But you have this amazing story you go through with your friends, this epic proportion, detailed event. And at the end of it, only, the 5 or 6 of you know that story, right? And especially in this time frame with how much we've played and how much we know that some people aren't that lucky, it really is awesome that we're going to be able to get the experience of sharing that with you guys. And hopefully you enjoyed enough that you're willing to just by proxy sit through this story with us. And at the end, have this stupid little adventure that, 5 schmucks made in their free time.
And that's the point. This is not supposed to be because it's going to happen, and we might as well nip it in the bud in the beginning anyway, even though this is probably going to be the least viewed Dirty Talk session, is we're not trying to be like Critical Role.
Oh, because we can't be.
We can't be. But that's not the point. The point is we all have so much fun like playing together and hanging out and like doing all of these having these cool little adventures. That I think I would like to record it, even if nothing happens, even if all of us are just sitting here talking to people who don't exist. I think having this for posterity is extremely important. Now, for example, I'm the newest person to the company. I haven't really been working here that long. I'm almost 25, like everybody here, like we're all varying in ages, so I'm the newest one here.
Sorry.
Our Eldritch cryptid. Our Eldritch cryptid in the corner coughs.
So I haven't been here that long. And I am very, very thankful that I didn't get sucked into the leadership corporate, like, because believe it or not, logistics is a cutthroat business, especially at not Amazon. But I'm glad that I didn't get pulled in to that sort of rigmarole, like business politics that is like corporate. And I'm glad that I have a group of friends to chill with. And I think at the end of the day, that's what D&D is you're having adventures with your friends without ever leaving the comfort of your home. And in I think most cases, like, unless some awful shit happens to you if you go rock climbing, chances are you're not going to come back a different fucking person.
I just watched 127 hours, like 2 days
Exactly,
ago.
that's what I'm talking about. Unless you get 127 houred,
Oh, nice verb.
you'll
pretty long.
see some
Some
beautiful
people
sights.
dream of that.
You'll get like physically fit. You'll have a good time. You'll hang out with your friends. You'll maybe make a campfire, drink a couple of beers, and talk about life. But the type of things that you can go through by proxy in a game like D&D is not necessarily inherently better or worse. It's just different. Like, you wouldn't get what you wise would not get what you're going through and getting out of Rin if you were doing something different. Like, if we just all hung out, put 4 TVs next to one another, and all played Mass Effect together. Like, or we played Baldur's Gate.
Or yeah.
It's different. Like, the human connection, especially nowadays, I think is super, super important. And I'm really looking forward to, at the very least, just chilling with some friends and playing D&D.
So something I'd like to add to that is, I feel like D&D kind of brings out something in people that you don't really see a lot of these days. Is, people play video games, they want to be entertained. People watch movies, they want to be entertained. They watch shows, they do all this kind of stuff. A lot of that's already kind of, all the creativeness is already kind of done for you. Sure, there can be creative aspects in video games and stuff like that, but, this is where a lot of people, you don't really flex that creative muscle that you needed to before to be entertained or to make a story happen. Because we're essentially all acting like actors and acting like a, writer and acting. We make these characters come to life. And with that, it takes just the minimum amount of thought to be creative. And I know, like, games and movies and stuff I play, they're entertaining, but I don't think. I just chill and I just, enjoy it, but it's, I think there's something to be said about that aspect. Even if you don't like certain aspects of D&D, there's still that which I think shouldn't be overlooked.
A good game, a good video game, like The Last of Us, both part 1 and 2.
Great game.
Like, they're great games, and they make you think about things. But we were having this conversation the other day because of that Facebook group you saw. Like, cool.
If you're a member of the D&D 5e Facebook group,
Go fuck yourself.
and you saw that article about Bleed Over and all those people talking about how they don't allow roleplay in their games and they don't believe that you should ever be affected by something your character goes through, and they're kicking people out of games for being affected by what their character goes through, like, go fuck yourself.
If you're one of the people that agrees with that, please leave.
But that's the difference between D&D and a video game. You can play through the harrowing story of The Last of Us.
Yeah.
And you turn it off and you're like, wow, that fucking sucks.
Even the most immersive video game, you're gonna turn it off and you're gonna disconnect. And that's just the nature of video games. Like you said, there's creative aspects to it. There could be a character creator or a game like Cyberpunk and The Witcher and those RP games like Mass Effect, which is a game we all really enjoy, or at least Bouchard and I have a lot of experience playing.
I've never played it.
I hate you. You've watched me play it enough.
But the thing is my character has no knowledge of the world, so really it adds to it.
Yeah.
I'm like
But,
a method actor, but like lack of method actor.
You did it on purpose is what it was. But like, you have those games that can be very creative and have those elements to it, but you're still gonna turn it off. Whereas we sit here and we play D&D, and I can speak specifically about Cooper and myself, because Cooper and I, as you guys will realize, and you'll probably hear us say all the time, get out of my fucking head.
She
Cooper
lives
and
there
I share
rent-free, and I do not appreciate it. We're about to be murdered.
So like Cooper and I, you'll hear us say it all the time, like, get out of my head. Cooper and I share 2 brain cells. We're like basically the same person. So the way that we make characters and the way that we play our characters is very similar. And
Just a heads up, Wise likes playing a very specific type of character. I like playing characters that fit surrogate dad roles, and I don't know why.
We make our characters the same way. We play our characters very similar, and we've had a lot of long talks about, we put a lot of ourselves into our D&D characters. And maybe that's because I'm just not creative and I can't play someone who is totally outside the realm of myself. Not to say that, I am either a crazy Truman Show cultist, or I'm a tragic background orphan from Earth in a Mass Effect universe, or any of these things. But there is a lot of my personality in my characters.
I think there's also a lot to be said about putting very key aspects of your personality into a character and still being able to flesh them out in a way that makes them a different person, right? Because no matter what character it is or how many similarities there are, you've never played just Wise. Well, Kid Shot, but that...
Yeah.
But, like, in our actual campaigns, like, you put key aspects of who you are as a person that are interesting and
Gay.
that aren't always in the forefront of when we talk.
Just gay.
Right?
They're all just gay.
First step, dumb. Second step, gay.
Okay, why did you break down my process to its 2 steps?
But that's how you get into the bleed out.
There's something really important, though, to be said. If you're one of those people, like myself or Wise, who makes a character and puts a lot of your faults or a lot of your character traits into it, and you feel like you're not creative, right? You're wrong. You're very creative in being able to put those aspects of yourself in a character and make them a different person who lives in this different world, right? And that is something you should probably, even if you've never done it, try it once. Put a flaw that you genuinely have in there, because I can tell you, when people dig at that flaw, you will genuinely get mad, or you will genuinely get scared. And just keep in mind that it's all your friends at the table, and let yourself grow because of it. And your character will too. It's a very pure part of the game.
And it is potent. I've had one-on-one sessions with Wise where, like, in my head, because I am basically a human cheetah. I'm anxious as fuck, and I speak and move.
Did
very
you mean to
quickly.
say Chihuahua?
No,
Because
no, because I'm not full of rage. I'm just full of anxiety.
Oh, okay.
Like, in the moment, looking at her face and how she's reacting and how her character reacts, because she gets so into character. Like, I always think like, oh, I thought that was gonna be a really big moment. I can't believe I fucked that up. Like, I guess, shit, I have to rewrite shit now. And then smash cut to 4 o'clock in the fucking morning when I get a 3-paragraph long text message from her. She's like, Bouchard, I was just in the shower for an hour and a half. You fucked me up, dog. I don't know what to think about myself anymore. And I think, no, D&D, in my opinion, doesn't need to be played that way.
no, absolutely not.
However, at least for us, we eat that shit up because it allows you to have, like, there's the old early 2000s fucking meme of like, me, I love my OCs and my OCs are like me and I love them all. Like that.
What the fuck was that voice?
That was
I know we're
Bouchard
having a
in the early
serious talk, but
2000s.
what the fuck?
It was Bouchard in the early 2000s.
I know that you were all infants in the early 2000s, but that's how everybody talked.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
As someone who was there,
You had a
know.
flashback.
I had a flashback.
In fact, the entire world hit puberty at 2010. you
But
know?
that's the thing.
2010, early 2000s, you dumb bitch.
Yeah.
It's 2002.
The thing,
Shut up, whore.
The thing about it is that having those characters and having those moments where you get so into it and you kind of become your character. I think, like I said before, especially where at least the United States is right now, I think we need that. Because the mix, the isolationism with the existential crises and our day-to-day lives bearing no resemblance to what they used to look like. I think shows, now, like I said before, we're not trying to be Critical Role, that's not why we're doing this, but shows like Critical Role, Adventure Zone, like those, just a group of friends, like podcasts in general, online media, in this vein, I think is going to see its full potential in a thing like this, because everything is personal. The people who are playing or the people who are doing the podcast, they're not actors on a TV screen.
By no means.
Yes.
You're not playing a video game. You're going through an experience with someone. And I think that human connection over hundreds or thousands of miles away. People watch Critical Role
All over the world. There's a
all-
website dedicated to what time are you on in my area?
all over the world, and that's the power that D&D can have. And not to say that we're trying to do that, because we're just friends playing.
But even if there's just one person out there who is like, I'm fucking lonely, like you know how much it would mean to have one person like just get enjoyment out of it? Like that's all I really want to do.
If there's literally just one of y'all listening right now who just wants to hang out with us and play D&D on your own free time, for us is a fucking honor. Like, I don't know, we've talked about this in the past, but pretty much all of us except Fulton, because he's an eldritch being.
We have a lot of eldritch beings in this group,
yeah,
apparently.
Yeah, I'm just a normal dude, just so everyone knows.
Have all kind of agreed that, like, the kind of stuff, if the day ever comes where we get, like, character art of our characters, I'm fucking crying.
Bruh.
I'm a child
Well, now
crying
you
on the
said
floor.
it, so now it's never gonna happen.
Of course.
Thanks, Cooper.
You're welcome.
You know, to be fair, when I was away, I did do a lot of drawings, albeit very bad ones, of people and NPCs that came up and stuff. But, you know, no one talks about that.
So, for all of your
For the
knowledge,
best reasons.
as we're kind of wrapping up this conversation, we are going to take our first scheduled break of our probably hour and a half, 2 hour
We're right
zero.
at the 1 hour mark.
Yeah, we're right around the
and,
1 hour
Some
mark.
of us are addicts who would really just die for a cigarette. So
So we're just gonna stock up on get some snacks, get some drinks. The smokers will smoke and the drinkers will drink. And
If you're
we'll
listening to this, please go hydrate, go eat. We care
smoke a
about
cigarette.
you.
If
Smoke
that's
a
what
cigarette
you're into.
if that's what you do, but I will note it's bad for your health. Please don't start if you haven't already. But go hydrate. We love you.
Yeah, stick to something safe like crystal meth.
I love you, I guess.
So, yeah, we'll be back in just a little bit.
All right, I'm stopping the recording. That's it. I'm
What did
I'm
you say,
done with
Bouchard?
that.
I couldn't hear
I'm
you.
done with that.
You're lusciously whispering into the mic.
Hey everybody, it's Wise. Just an announcement, I guess. These little dirty talk sessions are mostly going to be our post-game time to sit around and talk about what happened, and probably a little bit of bullshit at the end because we are friends and that's kind of what we do. We'll normally keep them to about an hour. This one was a little long because we were trying to give you guys an idea of who we are and kind of why we decided to play this game together. The next half of this is going to be literally everyone just sitting around and bullshitting, so if that's not really what you're into, then feel free to turn it off. If you do turn it off, I just wanted to let you know, because there is an announcement at the end that you won't hear, that we do have a Twitter page. It's going to be at Dirty20Pros, DIRTY20PROS. We'll have a link to our YouTube and where we'll drop all of our podcast info on there as well. But yeah, just wanted to say thank you for stopping by and listening to us fuck around for a little while. And here's a little bit of lo-fi to kind of enjoy your drink or food or cigarette, and hopefully not crystal meth with. We'll be back in just a second.
What a comeback, baby.
Okay.
All right, welcome back. We are back from our regularly scheduled break. We totally didn't just wing it. So welcome to the post game. We're not really talking about the title of this episode anymore. We're just kind of gonna chill and riff. Let you guys get to know us a little better.
What do you guys want to talk about?
We were very prepared professionals.
I didn't
about
think we'd
them
get this far.
Canucks?
Fuck the Canucks.
So, hey, fucking game, I cannot wait for the entirety of it to be released. Fucking Baldur's Gate 3.
Battletoads 2. Oh.
Fuck you. Baldur's Gate 3 is something we've all been sinking a lot of time into lately, and by we all, I mean Fulton Wise and myself. I cannot wait for all of that. So many, like, little, like, hints and nods towards a bunch of, like, really cool things they're gonna add, and I cannot wait for just D&D 5e, but on a video game.
I can't wait to get my hard drive so I can actually fucking play it with you guys.
I just am excited to meet this Boulder guy.
You know, he's, contrary to popular belief, got a full head of hair.
I mean, he has a gate, so
What does that have to do with it?
everything.
How are
Everyone
those
knows
two
once you
things
own a
related?
gate, you have a full head of hair and you're successful.
It's
People
the
make
law of the land. Only people with full heads of hair can own gates.
Except for Bill Gates, right?
Who is balding.
He lost his privileges.
He's Balding Gate.
His problem is that he doesn't have a gate. He is a gate.
You can't own a gate.
No, you can either be a gate or you can own a gate. You can't have both.
People with hair like Gates, from what I'm understanding.
That's some wise shit right there.
Well, I think we kind of talked about it on the break. Again, we're just gonna kind of riff for this little bit. Normally these sessions will Normally these sessions will be like an hour long and we'll actually talk about the game, but we wanted to give people an opportunity to kind of get to know us as the people that we are. So I think we had kind of decided just to fill up some time, we'll kind of go around and just talk about like us individually, what we like to do outside of D&D. As we kind of talked about earlier, we do spend a lot of time playing D&D, but you know, you can't do it 24/7, although I've tried to convince them to do it.
I'm down for this as well, other than my job. Not Amazon is not very happy about us literally only ever wanting to play D&D.
They're not conducive to fun.
All right, we're going to start with Fulton this time.
Ooh.
Fulton, what do you do outside of not Amazon and D&D?
Well, you kind of caught me off guard because like Bouchard's like, let's talk about ourselves, and you're like, yeah, Fulton.
If only there was somewhere you could
The
hide.
plot twist, you never saw it coming.
Yeah, I mostly play games and binge watch anything really on my favorite streaming service.
What was the most recent show you just binged?
I've restarted The Walking Dead.
How long has it been since you got mad at 2K?
At who?
At 2K.
Oh, probably the other
Last
night.
night.
Yeah.
I heard him.
And it's not the game specifically, even though it pisses me off, but it's the people on the game.
Those whack-ass 10-year-olds.
Okay, speaking of whack-ass 10-year-olds,
Oh, God. Oh, God.
I played my brother again, or I played him, again for like the first time in a couple years. And he's been like grinding on this game while I'm working at not Amazon. And like he held a grudge because I used to beat his ass so bad. And then like we're playing, it's like 12, midnight. And he's like, he beats me the first time. He's like, how you feel? And
Whoa,
yeah, and he
smack
just
talk.
proceeds to talking mad shit. So
How did you feel, though?
I was upset.
I was hurt.
I was like, wow, I used to be good at this. Like, I'm not in my prime anymore. I have to step down. Like,
You have to give up the podium?
See, what you
Yeah.
gotta do is you gotta go home and just actually fist fight your brother.
I thought about
Assert
it.
dominance again.
Well, I mean, you kind of got to wait because you did just take a vacation. You took a vacation, right?
yeah, I did take a
You used
vacation.
some of your vacation days.
Where I played 2K.
Where I got my ass beat by my
Hey
little
man,
brother.
don't underestimate the value of just like you don't gotta go anywhere. I mean, you couldn't go anywhere anyway.
Oh
but,
God,
like,
no! That's like the best part.
You
The
make
old
it sound like slavery.
Well,
Like we can't leave.
I mean, we can, but like, traveling is such a hassle now, and it's dangerous, and like, we don't want to jeopardize this thing that we have.
Anyways, I'll be leaving in March for a little bit to go somewhere else.
It's also not conducive for our health. So like, we don't want to put ourselves or our family at risk.
Maybe we could go have a camping trip in the mountains. Like,
Oh yeah. How's like I don't know, the Carolinas sound?
I would never go to the Carolinas.
Yeah, no, that might not be.
No offense.
That might not be conducive for a man who introduced himself as black. Why would you ever go to the Carolinas? God.
Never. There's no reason.
I apologize to anyone in the Carolinas. Like, the fuck right now?
Do they choose to
I
live
don't
there?
move to a better state.
Yeah.
God.
just
There's so
abandon
many.
the whole East Coast, to be honest.
Leave the country if you
Abandon
have
all
to.
hope, ye who enter the Carolinas.
Anything else, Fulton? All you do is play 2K and...
Well, I've been playing The Walking Dead, the Telltale games. I like that because
those are pretty good.
I like raising children.
Tell us about how AJ turned out.
He's a psycho, but
You're doing a
I,
good job.
I raised him, and he's strong and confident, so
He
that's all
was-
that matters.
He was also too weak to take the shot.
Timmy's gonna be the exact same way.
Oh,
God.
he'll be strong and confident.
I think he'll be
Maybe a psycho.
stronger than he was before.
What about you, Mr. Nagatha?
I mean, what's there to say? It's a story as old as time.
Is it?
I
mean,
thought you said you were a normal dude, but now you're alluding to being a cryptid.
no,
we have
starting to
enough
worry.
cryptid eldritch beings in this party, I think.
It's just all of us.
no. I was just a normal person until the day that I started playing D&D with all these people. Basically,
Is that
that's
all
where
you
my
did?
life started.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I was
that's it.
raised in sunny California, and lived a good life. I think Boy Scouting, and nope, that sounds bad. Oh no! That's getting edited out.
No, it isn't.
That's oh God. No.
I love Boy Scouting.
No,
It's my thing too.
I refuse to join this.
I'm not a big
podcast.
fan of Boy Scouting, to be honest.
I was a Boy Scout in the Boy Scouts, and you know, I enjoyed the program. It was pretty good because you know you got to spend time in nature, got to screw with your friends.
The program like it was a prison complex. You know, I was.
I
a part
think
of
the
the
warden
program.
really did a good job with rehabilitation. We were playing with butterflies and shit.
Learning to tie knots.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we learn good skills. It really depends on who's there. It's like anything, though. Like depends on the people. You know, I did pretty much video games and shit like that till I was old enough to join the Amazon workplace, basically.
The not Amazon work.
And then you got turned down and had to work at the knockoff, not Amazon.
That is correct. I forgot. I tried to repress that part.
Very impressive facade we've put up here.
So, I had a question for you, Nagy.
Sure.
My brother did Boy Scouts
Uh-huh.
when we were in our like very late middle school age.
Sure.
Is there a big culture around like getting like your is it called a totemship?
Yeah.
Like
so,
where you can like hold like you get qualified to use knives and axes and shit like that.
Yeah.
Is that
so
a big deal?
Oh God. Let me think. So it's so. You have to be kind of in the organization to understand what it really means. Because it means something, but it doesn't really mean that much. Basically, going to like a Boy Scout camp, which I did to a lot of summers, you know, it's a thing you can get. So then you can screw around with knives, not like you know how to use them. It's basically your training for knives and hatchets and things like that, saws and whatnot. So you're familiar with how to use them so you don't break them, but also so you don't hurt yourself, what to do if you hurt yourself, stuff like that. And yeah, it's something you could get in the course of like an hour. It's not difficult.
Gotcha.
But it's also like if you're like a 10-year-old kid, you probably are like, wow, that's the coolest thing ever. I need that because I need to play with a knife, which you find after around the age of 12 once you've cut off a finger. Yeah, I don't really need to play with a knife. It's probably okay. But yeah, that's about that.
What video games do you play?
Oh God, why would you want to know that?
It's toxic.
We're picking at a very specific scab here.
I play the League at Legends. Probably one of the most. It's like if anyone's voluntarily shot themselves in the foot, found the cure to a bodily harm like that, and then decided to use that in order to shoot yourself in the foot more and not really have any consequences. Because it's awful. There's so many times that I'm like, fuck this stupid ass game. Riot is awful. Everything about the community is awful. And then I'm like, all right, well, there's nothing better to do, so I guess I'll just crush some people, end up going 0 and like 20 and be like, yeah, this game is fucking stupid. And it's a vicious cycle.
Watch,
You know,
rinse, repeat.
I really do love to point this fact out, is that Nagy is one of the nicest, most like genuinely good people I know, and he has somehow been sucked into the fucking hellscape that is League of Legends.
Well, that's
and it
kind of
is
why
so
I like it. It's just
drastic.
so awful. And I just, you know, I can be my worst self. I just tell people to get fucked every 5 minutes.
It's like
They go
watching
tell their
a
mom.
Saw movie. You don't watch a Saw movie because like, oh yeah, good cinema. You watch a Saw movie because you're so not anything that any of those movies represents. You just like, you know, it's like you can't turn away from a car wreck.
You know, I kind of thought of it like I just identify with the puppet guy. But I get to put all these people through my champion's abilities. But, yeah.
I have a really fun game to play. We've talked a lot about how we are cryptids. I'd like to go around the room and say a few people who I think I have their cryptid place down. Anyone that I kind of leave out, please correct me. But Fulton is for sure Mothman.
Okay.
Entirely Mothman. Nagy is the Loch Ness Monster, of
You know,
course.
he's just vibing by
Yeah.
himself.
I am certainly Bigfoot.
Well, you're tall enough.
Yeah. I don't know Bouchard or Wise, honestly.
I'm actually just a cryptid, so you don't need to assign one to me.
The Rake.
Taliesin Jaffe.
You're Taliesin Jaffe. Yeah, we're really breaking away from that Critical Role joke, aren't we?
I like how Taliesin Jaffe's not Taliesin Jaffe.
No, I am.
Look at me. Look at me. I am Taliesin Jaffe now.
We're really honored to have Taliesin here with us today. I'm meeting a hero right
He's
now.
just so good at making characters. He made this character Kate Wise, and just so convincing.
Taliesin, if you're watching this, I want to be your best friend so bad. I think about it all the time.
She stares longingly into the Taliesin altar.
But what if Phoebe Bridgers is like watching?
Please don't even bring it up. Please. I
Uh-oh.
will fucking
Uh-oh.
cry.
We gotta go
is
back.
there some sort of connection here between Wise and Phoebe Bridgers?
I wish there was a connection between Wise
in
and
the
Phoebe
middle of this
Bridgers.
podcast.
Okay, we're gonna drop this. We'll come back to Phoebe Bridgers when it's my turn. It's Cooper's turn now.
I, game-wise, play a lot of Fire Emblem, right? I also really enjoy games like Hades. Been playing a lot of basically those two lately. Some Baldur's Gate 3, as I mentioned earlier. Super in love with that game. Can't wait till it fully comes out, so I'm not stuck at level 4 forever. Otherwise, I mean, TV shows, don't know if you noticed, but I'm a nerd. I watch a lot of anime.
You watch anime?
Yeah. In fact, actually, Nagy and I watch a lot of shows together. Fucking Heaven's Design Team or whatever.
That one's really good.
Amazing.
Watch, Cells at Work.
Yeah, the otter is the greatest creation on God's earth. Very few people are gonna get that joke.
The
but
Chad Otter
The Chad Otter.
versus the Virgin Unicorn.
versus the Virgin Pegasus. Yeah, I mean, I won't say that I'm a pretty simple dude because I'm probably a lot to have to deal with, but I like simple things. Oh, also, a big thing, probably going to be a part of our like production stuff in the future. I build and paint minis, honestly, religiously, at a disgusting rate.
There's a lot of minis at the house.
I build a lot of, or I'm starting to build a lot of terrain stuff. You know, and I'm planning on getting all the, probably with like my tax return, the equipment to start making dice. So, you know, expect a little bit of a hobby thing going on in the channel every once in a while. Just because, you know, it's my happy place. It's just building, painting, making stuff.
Are you going to make your own little mini and dice channel on like YouTube or something?
I am probably planning on doing that. I think I want to work to it. It's definitely a goal. You know, because I don't know. I love the D&D thing. I think it'd be really fun if once we get the video aspect of our stream and people start seeing the stuff we play with, if on the side there's a little channel they can go to where we can just hang out, paint some stuff, build some stuff, you know, see all the dice we make, and, you know, I'm definitely excited for that.
It's definitely worth noting that he is actually incredibly good at painting these minis. I can't speak to the kit hashing and the terrain stuff because I haven't really seen it yet. But I mean, you've painted some ridiculously good minis for our.
He is
home
extremely skilled.
campaigns.
This is too much praise. I'm pretty trash, but you know, I do my best with it. My favorite thing with making minis, and you know, I'm a little selfish, so I make a lot of them for my own campaign that I DM. My favorite thing is putting a mini on the table and watching everyone and like kind of freak out, like, oh fuck,
Happens
holy
often.
shit. It is my favorite thing.
We're all gonna fucking die.
Every time, we're all gonna
The trick is
fucking
I
die.
just buy and don't paint my minis, so at any point I could say you see a huge stone statue of something. And then it comes to life.
You see a pug walking down the street.
Saber pug.
Saber-tooth pug. Great mini.
But in reality, mini painting is like one of my favorite parts of the hobby, and hopefully, if I'm ever good enough that I feel like I'm not going to be wasting anyone's time, I would very much enjoy to be able to share that little slice of the hobby with everyone, because it's a daunting thing that I think if we just kind of put a little bit of focus into, and you just take your time, and you really just have fun with it, you'll grow as a painter, and it won't be as daunting anymore. You know, you just got to take that first few steps and have some fun with it.
Boosh?
Oh God,
What's going on in that nugget of yours, man?
You don't want to fucking know.
So, this is not a visual media, but Bouchard has this fucking, like, nervous habit where he just twirls this one lock of hair on the side of his head. And I've been watching you do it for the past, like, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. Like, what is he fucking nervous about, man?
One of these days, I've been watching him do it for like a year now, and one of these days he's gonna twirl it, and it's just gonna twist
It's just gonna pop off, man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm kind of curious what, like, shaved head Bouchard would do.
Twirl his
Like-
mustache.
No,
Twirl
like,
his comically large handlebar
I
mustache.
just mean if he didn't have that hair. Like,
It
what
only
would
gets
happen?
bad. I
You
need
just
to get
rub
a
his
haircut.
head.
I need to get a haircut. My hair is getting scruffy, and it's only
Don't
really
start.
like that if there's a lot of hair there.
Hey, do not start.
We have a doggo in the premises. Don't
Machiavelli, do not.
do it. I know I said dog, but we actually have the real Machiavelli
I have
here.
him chained up, walking around.
Pavlov's
Still alive.
Machiavelli.
I didn't like the print, so I decided to just revive him and put him on a fucking collar and leash and keep
It was
him around my
quite
house.
difficult. It took a lot of her eldritch power, but it was done.
Took about 1,000 years off my lifespan.
Shut
but
up, Niccolo.
Good thing she's only using 5% of her power.
All right, Boosh. Now that you've twirled your, hopefully you've wound yourself up like a toy car. You've got something.
You know what? I'm just gonna go. Y'all are on your fucking own. Yeah, I don't know. You know, it's kind of some hobbies have been fallen by the wayside with all the D&D we've been doing, but that's not really that big of a sacrifice. I'm more of a. My hobbies are more of a thing that I do to recharge. COVID has been especially hard because it used to be what I used to do after work before I joined the company. I would just I'd go to a movie late at night with nobody there and just kind of like watch a movie even if I've seen it before. I remember when Black Panther came out, like a while ago, however long ago that movie came out. I watched it like 8 times in the theater. I love that film. I always love watching it.
You were a big Blanter fan.
Yeah.
Wow. I just
trying to
wanted
say
to clarify.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody laughed at that.
I
That
like-
struck out so hard.
I like.
Hey, you know,
we can edit that out.
You miss 100% of the shots you never take. Michael Scott.
You sometimes miss 100% of the shots you do
What
take.
if we just edit crickets in after that?
Yeah, I don't know. My hobbies are more of like simple recharge things. I play a lot of different video games. I'm kind of stuck on console right now because I'm currently still getting parts for my PC because there's a lot of PC games I'd like to play. But I'll hop around. I love Destiny. Destiny's my favorite game that's ever been released ever. One of the greatest games of all time.
Oh my god.
Because I
that's
just
not true.
alienated half of the people who are going to be listening.
Hey, if you
You
heard that and you
alienated half
thought
of
you
the
wanted to
people
stop
here.
watching, we all feel the way you do. You can stay. He's the only one.
It's true. Not everyone believes in Destiny, but
It's not that bad of a game.
I met Destiny and she wasn't really that nice.
So, yeah, I'll just do video games and stuff like that. Not really anything interesting.
What's the most recent video game that really, other than Ghost of Tsushima, because I know you recently got back into that.
That's such a good fucking
Ghost
game.
of Tsushima has been like your normal time sink, hasn't it?
Huh?
Ghost of Tsushima and like fucking Battlefield have been your thing lately.
So yeah, if I'm looking for like a multiplayer thing, I'll hop on Battlefield 5, because it's still so good. I've been getting into World of Warships a lot.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a fun game. A lot of time wasters because with our crazy schedule and D&D and stuff like that, like I don't really have time to dig in to like a really immersive like role play game because I need like an hour to get immersed and then I'd like to get like 4 hours out of it. So I'll play a lot of like quick little like Battlefield, World of Warships, stuff like that. Yeah, those have been what I'm playing recently. I'm kind of going through a cycle again because I'll go back and replay things until something new comes out. I'm dying to get my hands on that PC so I can play stuff like Hades, Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Like,
League of Legends.
God,
No.
no. I would
am
rather-
a Smite player, so get on the actual DC.
Literally
That's all
everyone
Greek
but
to
you,
me.
Nagy, would rather cut our legs off and eat them than play League of Legends.
It's kind of an odd thing to just kind of bring up, but you could have just said you didn't want to play it, but
No, I had to really drive the point home.
Jesus Christ.
It's an awful game, and I love you, but not that game.
Yeah, that's kind of it. I'm not really that interesting of a person.
Okay.
What about you, Wise?
I don't know, man. I play a lot of video games. I used to stream a lot.
Do you wanna hit that old stream name?
Yeah, if anybody is bored and they want to watch me play Fallout, because for some reason that's the only thing anybody ever wants to watch me play, you can hit me up on that dumb lesbian on Twitch. I'll be there. Probably never. I never sign on anymore. But you can go follow me. I'll take the follows. I don't know. I play a lot of video games. I play mostly RPGs, a lot of Mass Effect, Dragon Age, Fallout, Assassin's Creed, Greedfalls, pretty decent.
Cyberpunk was a big one lately.
Cyberpunk was a big one. I know there was like that big rocky start, but you know, I didn't like it very much on my PS4, and then I got it for PC, and now it's like a totally different game. But other than that, I mean, I read a lot. I mean, I go through like 2 or 3 books a week.
That Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Though.
Yeah, Mass Effect Legendary Edition in almost exactly 2 months. I write a lot. Unfortunately for Bouchard and Cooper, who are 2 DMs for characters that I every once in a while will write something after a session, and then I make them read it by sending it to them afterwards.
It's really good stuff.
We
He's very
really
good.
love it. Honestly, like, no shit, gonna hype my friend up here. With all sincerity, like, really good writing. And as a DM, it's always really cool to get that stuff because it kind of gives us, at least, the perspective of like where the character's head is at under the hood. And it really helps us kind of poke at some stuff that we feel would be interesting or intriguing. And then it's also just really cool to like hear the story from the character's perspective rather than the narrator's perspective that you are constantly stuck in as the DM.
Yeah, you know, I was a big fan fiction writer as a kid, so it's just kind of bled over into my adult life.
Don't worry. We'll put the links on the Twitter.
talk about a
Absolutely.
real tragic backstory.
She got all her practice making Harry Potter kiss Harry Styles. You know?
I don't know why you know I wasn't allowed to read Harry Potter growing up because I went to Catholic school, so why would you even bring that up?
That's why it was a taboo subject.
You went to Catholic school, Wise?
Unfortunately for me.
What was that like?
You know, I wish that I was old enough at the time to appreciate it, because as a 12-year-old, you don't appreciate girls in Catholic school uniforms as much as I would have as like a 15, 16, 17-year-old version of myself. It was all right. I got expelled for being gay, so, you know.
Oldest trick in the book.
Oldest trick in the book. It was all right. I don't know.
Oldest trick in one of the oldest books.
Yikes.
So I found a connection
Oh, God.
between the 3 of us, actually, between you, myself, and Nagy.
I'm literally terrified about what you're about to say.
No, it's cool. It's completely cool. We're not gonna get canceled.
Oh, good.
But like I always wanted to I wanted to go to like be in the Boy Scouts as a kid, but my mom wouldn't let me do it because she said it was like the Catholic Church. And I want to know if you had like any overly pious counselors.
Do you have any touchy-feely moments?
Whoa.
I don't think that's what he was going for.
Jesus Christ, Cooper.
Yeah, it wasn't that kind of church.
Was there
okay.
a heavy religious influence in the Boy Scouts when you were in it?
Okay, so
No, Coop was pretty close.
okay,
There
fuck
wasn't
you.
there wasn't like a religious implement when I was in it. We had like a prayer we did every once in a while.
Well, sure, but like the baseline Boy Scouts of America, there is a religious element to it. Albeit it's very like how would I put it? Generic enough to where even if you're like Buddhist or something, or if you were like, you know, if you're any religion, it's okay. Like they're not concerned about all that. Maybe in like a different time period, it was a more Judeo-Christian type of thing. But yeah, definitely nowadays, like, I mean, half of my troop was just Indian kids, and then the other half was like Asian and white and brown.
Now's the only kind of member of this who has some experience like living outside of the United States for extended periods of time. Is that normal? That like organizations like that have like religious undertones? Is
Oh,
that just
yeah.
like a
I mean,
U.S. specific thing? You
I mean,
think?
a group is allowed to be a religious
I
Yeah.
mean,
thing.
There
Boy
is
Scouts to like, you know, the Junior Firefighters Association, like any of those associations where it's like you kind of throw a little money towards a group and then you're in, like those kind of club almost like things for kids. Generally, like it is a little weird. A lot of them do have sort of at least undertones of religious kind of effects.
It's very prevalent in like youth groups like that, like junior firefighters, Boy Scouts.
Now, what I will say is, I mean, everyone might have their kind of thoughts about Boy Scouts or what what they think it's about, but no one was being underhanded with the religious stuff. That was kind of it was kind of a part of it thing.
It is so like obviously it's not like a hidden thing, but it's not. I say undertone as in it's not like the main premise of any of it. It wasn't like they didn't like really beat you over the head.
Yeah, no, and I'm sure it varies from troop to troop. But in my troop,
Mine wasn't too religious.
yeah, mine was not super religious. It was like, yeah, it was really unless someone wanted to talk about that stuff, which I could have, but it really was just never a thing that came up much.
When we did Jambo, it would come up. That was just about the only time. It's because at the beginning of our Jambo, at least, like when they'd have all like 1,200 of us that went like in basically like a formation, they would like start with a prayer, and then you would do your Boy Scout creed.
Yeah, I mean, before we ate at the Boy Scout camps, we'd do someone say grace, but it would like
Grace.
literally,
Sorry. I couldn't stop myself from doing it.
it would literally be whatever religion or sect or whatever they had.
We did grace too before our meals, but it wasn't really grace. It was just like
Grace.
we'd all hold hands. It gets funnier every time you say it, Wise.
I'm gonna keep doing it. Fuck you.
We would all just hold hands, and then you would just talk about what you were thankful for.
What are we thankful
Community
for?
of it,
Community, yeah.
Now my question is, Fulton, what was the connection between me and the Boy Scouts?
Yeah.
How am I
The
in
Catholic
this
Church.
triumvirate? Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So that's really interesting, because like I went to like camp when I was a kid, but it was never Boy Scouts. It was never like any of those junior associations. It was literally just like summer camp. Like you go for like
Yeah.
a month out of the summer.
More
and,
like a daycare type of thing.
No, like you live
Was it
there.
like sleepaway camp?
Yeah,
Like, okay.
basically.
No, I don't mean daycare in that sense. I mean like you go do, basically your parents don't deal with you for that time, because Boy Scouts a lot of that way, where it's like they dropped them off and they're like, okay, have fun.
See that's how my parents looked at sports. Like I did a lot of sports and extracurriculars, and that was my parents' way of being like, get the fuck out of my house. Go to practice, go to band practice, do what I get out of my fucking house. Go do
Exactly, but the
something.
interesting thing about, like, I think it was called, like Arlington Echo, I think it was. It's out by Arlington.
And you're looking at me like I know.
No, I'm just saying.
Like the Arlington,
fucking Canadian.
the Arlington
Hey.
in Washington, or like,
No, East Coast.
oh, okay.
So, like, it's like in like a fucking East Coast area, near Maryland. It's not, I think, near Virginia, I believe. And like their whole thing was like nature conservation. So they didn't do prayers ever unless like because the religious kids got to go to like the main building and like they go on Sundays and stuff like that. But like they're like I remember before this is very vague because it's a very old memory. Like before we would eat dinner, like they'd have like the Waste Watchers Award of like the person who like was the most like nature conscious, like when we'd be hiking through, because we hiked down trails and like they were outside of the campgrounds, they were like Appalachian trails, so like hikers would be on them all the time because it's a public park.
So like,
Who picked up trash?
yeah, and because they didn't make us.
Yeah.
They were like, hey, all of it was very free form. They taught you, I remember one of the things that we did a lot, which is a very Maryland, I'm about to say a very Maryland sentence. We'd go chicken necking for crabs, where you just take a literal chicken neck, you tie a rope around the end of it, and then you just yeet it off a dock, and then you wait, and then you just pull a blue crab up.
Oh, wow, okay.
And like, it's very, because like, it's not like you're throwing pots out, you're not on a boat. Like, you're just kind of doing that stuff.
Used
And
to
it
be
was,
able to do that in the Long Island Sound too. We'd use like gizzards or like chicken legs.
yeah. So like, it was very much a very local Maryland type deal. And I remember it was always super interesting because I don't know, it had such a unique feel to it compared to all the rest of the shit I did that like my parents were like, get out of here, like get the fuck out of here, like go do something. And I remember me and my brother went every summer until we were too old to go. We loved going there. It was always a great month. Because the best part was, it wasn't like a summer camp like do any of you guys remember Meatballs? Yeah. The movie Meatballs? You ever seen that movie? Have you seen that, Wise?
I have.
Like, it's not like, oh, they're gone, like teenagers are in charge of these middle school kids and they're gone the whole summer. Like, we spent a month there and then we got to come home and we had the whole rest of our summer to do shit with.
I never, so like I was in the Boy Scouts for a long time. I never made my Eagle Scout because I had grown up to the point where I was just kind of like over it.
That happens.
Yeah, but when I was really young, when I was like 8, I want to say,
So
my
like
parents.
2 years ago, or?
Yeah. This was actually last year. My parents wound up sending me to Camp Talkatoka, all the way in Oklahoma. Fucking rep that place. Not where I lived, so you didn't just fucking figure me out.
Just aggressive for no reason.
You have to make sure sometimes.
He was only there a year ago.
The one listener who is all 50 states waiting for Cooper to slip up, and he just crossed off Oklahoma.
You know, but so like when we went there, it was that stereotypical like, you know, fucking 17, 18-year-old like kids looking
Very
after.
wet, hot American summer. That's all I
Yes.
picture when you guys talk about summer camp.
Yeah.
Because I never went to summer camp, so I literally just picture wet, hot American summer.
It's kind of not wrong. Like we were
I
there.
hope it's wrong. Have you seen that movie?
Yes, we were there for 2 months. I saw some shit. First off, our fucking camp counselors were not great people. Like we had an emergency. Like a kid went to the hospital because he threw a battery in a fucking campfire and nobody like paid attention, and he like hurt himself real bad. Like we used to do nothing but like, I don't know, I saw a kid get kicked in the chest by a horse. Like they did not give a fuck about us.
That's why you can't put teenagers in charge of teenagers.
Well,
Like, that's the
that's
dumbest
the other
idea.
thing too. That was also the first time I'd ever seen people doing the do, because we were my friend and I got up because obviously the outhouses were away from our like lodges. We got up and he had woken me up because he was afraid to go alone. We were like 8, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'll go with you and I'll wait outside." And then, you know, I'm like, fuck it, this is boring. I'm gonna walk around the outhouse and then like right behind there, you know? So it's like, don't leave teenagers in charge of 8 to 10-year-olds. Like they're just bad people.
I'm so sorry.
Why'd you say it like it was you?
Was you there,
Was
Fulton?
it you?
No, but these teenagers sound horrible.
I mean, I survived. I was not
Wait
one
a
of the
minute. Does
casualties.
that mean someone did die in that exchange?
So this is really fucked up to laugh about.
Oh boy.
The kid who got kicked in the chest by the horse didn't die, but he was permanently disabled. I only know that because he went to my elementary school. So like, you know, he left for a long ass time. Obviously, well, it felt like a long time. We were like 8, so he like left halfway through, and he wasn't there for a month. And then when we went to school again, I was like looking for him, and he didn't show up for like another 2-3 months, and he was in a wheelchair, and it was because he got like kicked in the chest. So like this place sucked. I love Camp Talkatoka just because I have crazy fucking memories
We're
of
getting
that place.
sued by this place as soon as this fucking stream.
I
drops.
think
They've
they
got
closed.
dirt. They've got dirt on
genuinely
us.
think they closed.
Arlington Echo closed. The camp I went to, it closed.
I'm almost 100%
Was it
positive that they
Scandal?
closed.
No, I think it was just.
I don't think summer camps are like as big of a thing as they used to be
Yeah,
when
no.
we were younger.
Especially like my little siblings will probably never go to a fucking summer camp like that unless it's one of the Boy Scout sponsored ones that they always do.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Because when the one thing in Boy Scouts I did do all the way up until like I left, I moved away from home, was I would go to the Boy Scouts camp and I would be one of their counselors every year, because it is so much fun. And there's such a drastic difference when it's like a Boy Scouts camp, just because, one, like, you don't really need to fuck around. You've already been fucking around with the people you're working with for years, right? And then two, you do have like those few, there was a Vietnam vet or like a Korean vet who like lived on the premises and would just ride around in a golf cart and yell at people. And like, I remember hating it when I was younger, but like, I respect the hell out of that man now. Like, what a guy. Because, you know, nobody got kicked in the chest and paralyzed by a horse while we were at our camp. You know what I mean? Like, people just learned how to row a boat and have some fun. Nobody almost died.
Yeah, you know, good old workplace safety.
Yeah,
Big thing.
Good old OSHA.
Yeah. Well, enough about my Boy Scout memories.
I don't know. I think that's an interesting thing. My brother only did it for like a year and a half, 2 years, and like, cause I remember he went into it like most things that he does. He's like, I'm gonna be an Eagle Scout. He's like, I'm going all the way. And then circumstance, shit. I don't blame him. Shit happened, and we couldn't do it anymore. But I do think that kind of experience is, I think it's just super interesting.
Well, you know, it's funny. In Boy Scouts, we had a Scoutmaster who said that two of the main things. There's two kinds of things that, you know, take Boy Scout to Boy Scouts. It's two kinds of fumes. It's perfume and car fumes.
Yeah, that's true.
But it really is true because, like, you just get focused on, oh, well, now I got to get my job because I got this car or whatever, and I don't have time for Boy Scouts, whatever. Oh, I got my girlfriend. I know guys who've, you know, they get a girlfriend. They fall off the face of the fucking earth.
Yeah.
And
life.
so,
Life
life.
happens.
Well, sure, life,
Yeah.
but like, you know.
He's right. Like, when I got together with my ex-fiance, like, you know, and I got my job, like, that was the first thing that kind of dropped to the wayside.
Yeah.
Was like, because, you know, I was working full-time at night, I was going to school full-time during the day, you know, I had moved out of home, so it was like, I didn't really have time. It's not that I wanted to leave the Boy Scouts.
Fair though, like getting Eagle and stuff, that's a lot of work for
Yeah,
an underage kid. Paperwork, your Eagle project, you have to basically like a foreman for a project.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work.
I remember helping my best friend back home with his. He built these little like library boxes where you could like open doors, and they were outside in parks, and you could put books in and you could take books out. And every once in a while the library would roll around, and any books they were going to get rid of, they'd throw in there. And he built like 18 of them around our like town. And it was like a big deal. It was like a lot of work. It was really hard because I remember, I obviously is my best friend. I volunteered to help build shit.
So, real quick question for you, Nagy, because you probably know more about it than me. Can't you, if you get like Eagle Scout, like if you decide to join the military, don't you get like bonuses and shit like that?
So I've looked into it because, you know, I've thought about it, and you actually start out like 2 pay grades higher than normal.
What does that
just
mean?
from Eagle Scout, essentially you save yourself like 18 months.
It's like your rank, basically.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, you rank up twice basically just for getting Eagle Scout.
Well, that's probably. I mean, that's probably worth it. Like you said, it's like a drawn out like process.
I mean, like, because I've looked into it. It's like the first 2 ranks, you save yourself like 18 months, and you jump up in pay. Like, I don't see why you wouldn't think about doing that stuff if you were an Eagle Scout.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Or if you were an Eagle Scout.
I am an Eagle Scout.
If you were an Eagle Scout, like it'd be like a viable option. Like if you were just out of high school and like if you're looking at the military already, then you already have this like leg up.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
even if you're, I mean, I don't know. Even if you're not an Eagle Scout, like it's still not the worst option out there.
No.
stable. You know, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, they're probably not out of a job right now.
That is
I'm pretty sure they're working.
Because remember I told you my brother joined the army?
Oh shit, that's
like,
right.
No, he got screwed because they sent him to like a northern Alaska, so he's probably dying right now. But like they get a stable paycheck.
Yeah.
They get a stable paycheck. They have their benefits. They're
I
not
bet-
worried about like getting sick and like losing like all their money in our healthcare system.
Yeah, that's probably like, I don't know, man. Respect, because that's cool.
Yeah.
But fuck that.
So, real quick, before we wrap up, because we are running out of time.
We're all running out of time, technically.
The stream will be starting soon, hopefully, if I can get my shit together and actually get it started.
Probably within a few weeks.
Yeah, within a few weeks.
Like 2 or 3.
Yeah, the next one of these will probably come either like one more intermediate one where we just kind of riff. That one might be a little shorter. But the next one of these will probably come after that session. It's been a pleasure to get this kind of started with you guys, whoever's listening. Hopefully this isn't used as evidence in a court case, but you never know. Hopefully we get to spend many more hours just sitting here and talking with y'all.
Yeah, we're really excited to be doing this. We're obviously, before doing it, we were all talking about just, the sheer level of hype, and super excited to be sharing our D&D BS adventure with you guys in the future. And we're really thankful if you're here sitting through this right now, to be here at the beginning or starting at the beginning. It's really appreciated. We thank you for your time.
Yeah, I mean, I'll also say you probably all you might not know it now, but when you get into it, these characters are going to come to life, and you're going to be like, wow, this is great, or maybe this is okay, maybe this is bad, but don't say the last part. I'll cry.
At the very least, we'll like the characters.
You know what? Now I'm going to make a character I don't even like.
Being the kind of tech, and I have taken over the role of social media manager for us as well. I just kind of want to drop that we do have a Twitter. We just started it up. There's literally nothing there, but you will see we'll post little, honestly, it's going to be mostly memes. You'll learn this about us, and we do this a lot in our personal games, is after a big session, we will just hours upon hours send memes back and forth in our group chat. So anything for the stream we'll post on our Twitter. That's going to be at Dirty20Pros, DIRTY 20PROS. If you want to drop us a line, that's a great place to do it. I also, my kind of little closing note here is because I just think it'd be fucking hilarious, and I'm going to say this at the end of every Dirty Talk until we start a visual media. For the love of God, if you're listening to this and you want to draw what you think we look like, I will pay fucking money at this point to see what our voices give off about us and what you can kind of pick up about our personalities off of just how we talk and how that kind of equates to our appearance. Because when we do go to a visual media, I would love to just put all that up and be like, this is how fucking wrong you were.
Fulton, you got any parting words?
I do have a question more about you being the social media manager and all that stuff. Do you think it would be feasible for us to start an OnlyFans where we just play D&D?
Okay.
You've suddenly realized why Fulton is the enigma
Real
here.
quick, before we pack in for the night, I just want to say, wherever in the world you are listening to us now, good morning, good evening, or good night. Sleep tight.
Be in safe health. Drink a lot of water.
We'll see you at the table.